It's the same feeling. Let's get this started now. Let's get this started now.
No doubt. Do you wanna bounce?
Let's get this started now.
No
Let's get
doubt.
this started now.
Do you wanna bounce?
So for tonight's subject, we are going to be talking about budgeting because it's really important in a relationship, especially going into marriage. I wouldn't really necessarily say that, well, budgeting is important in general, but I'm saying like as a couple, budgeting your money and stuff and combining money and stuff, that's where we're at in our relationship because we're getting ready to get married in a few months. And so now we're to a point where now, like, whatever income he brings in and whatever income I bring in, we combined it together. And so, yeah, budgeting is very important when doing that because a lot of couples end up splitting up over like financial things and stuff, and just having a good foundation as far as your financing and how you want to spend. And also, me and Ananias, we have a lot of goals, like really big goals. And so with those goals, you know, you have to have, you know, money, and you know, you have to know what you know, how much income you're bringing in, how much discretionary income you have after everything's taken care of and stuff like that. So those are just the conversations that he and I have. And you know, yeah, we just wanted to talk to you guys about how important it is to budget as a single person and also coming together in a relationship, because if you don't have the same morals and standards, especially financially, then it can cause a lot of drama and problems in a relationship.
The talking on what she's talking about too at the same time, it's good to actually every month to write out your budget so you can visually see it on paper. I don't care if you got to put it on the refrigerator, put it in your phone. Both of you guys, or just as a single person, you should have a written out budget every month on what you're spending and what you're going to be saving. So towards the end of the month, or however you get paid, you should put a little bit of something towards the side. It could be $20, $50. It's something better than spending it, wasting it. You're going to waste it anyway, so you might as well put it to the side and save it for a rainy day. You know, because you never know when, you know, hard times are going to come. You ought to be prepared. Like, one of you guys might lose a job. You know, you never know. Might get hurt on the job. And so people don't prepare for that. Car, you know, maintenance on the car, something might happen. You don't have money, so it's just, you don't know. You gotta be prepared for these things. Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially in the minority community, our parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, whoever you live with, whoever's household you grew up in, they don't teach us how to have a budget. They don't teach us about having a bank account or how to save money. None of that. So going into it, like she said, I had a great job at Coca-Cola. I was there for about 5.5 years. At the time before I left, in the last 3 years, I think I was making probably about $55,000. But based off my bad budgeting, it wasn't good.
But yeah, we're getting into a position where we're making more money and stuff, and so as we're climbing that ladder, we want to have good habits and stuff like that, just so that we don't throw the money away and stuff like that. And also, we're going to be starting a business soon, so we're preparing ourselves for that stuff, to have that responsibility of starting a business. And then, you know, eventually we're going to be buying a house, and we want to buy properties and just things like that. So yeah, we take classes online and stuff, like, and then I took a financing class online, and we just study different types of things and different budgeting methods and stuff. And I was working with a financial counselor and stuff like that, so we're getting tips from her and just those type of things to help us to learn, because there's so many resources and things that we don't know. And so yeah, just going and getting the proper education behind it, you know, doing your research and stuff like that, and just knowing where your money's going, that's really beneficial to you. So yeah.
And another thing that we probably touch on too is how people buy things they don't need.
Oh yeah.
At all. you're buying cars that you don't need.
Or that you can't even afford.
You can't afford.
I think that, like, if you live in an apartment, I don't think you should be driving, like, the newest Mercedes Benz or BMW. I think that's stupid. If you're living in an apartment and you have, like, a brand new Mercedes Benz, unless you're living in a condo and you own the condo, but I just think people don't understand the levels. So, Nias is the one who taught me this. Like, there's levels to, you know, lifestyle and stuff like that. And people want to skip levels and they don't do it right. And that's why people end up back to square one and stuff like that, or in debt and stuff worser than square one, back to freaking square none, because they want to just move up the ladder too fast, or they want to put on a show and pretend like they're living this luxurious life that they're not living. So yeah, but we can't worry about what other people are doing and stuff, but I just think for us, we just feel like, okay, we're living in an apartment, so you know, we're not going to go out and get a brand new Mercedes-Benz or BMW because our priorities aren't straight. I'd rather have a house first.
You know, my finances was all terrible. My budget, I didn't have no budget. So that's just plain crazy. I was spending money like no tomorrow.
Yeah, he would spend, like, do some crazy stuff. Like, he took me to Vegas out of nowhere and spent a lot of money. I'm like, where? I didn't ask him. It was like we were dating for like a year, or were we together?
We was
less
dating
than a year. Right?
Less than a year.
Yeah, he just took me to Vegas. I had never been to Vegas. I had just turned 21 in February. And did you take me in September?
We went to Vegas with my cousins and their friends. It was basically a couple trip to Vegas. My cousin told me about it. The flight and tickets total were like, I think, $600.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, you know, I wanted to go. I wanted to take her. I was there the previous year with my friend, or a couple years previous. And,
yeah, you know, but anyways, to make a long story short, he spent a lot of money, and I was just thinking, like, what? Where is this guy getting this money? Like, why is he spending so much money? And, like, we had just started really dating and stuff that year of 2011, and he took me there, and, yeah, I didn't realize though that he had like he didn't really understand like budgeting, stuff like that. But one of the things that we're doing is we're saving money for us to put down a down payment on a car, because I want to get another car. So we want to like pay half of it. Like, let's say if it's a $10,000 car with $5,000 on it or something, or if not more, just so that way we don't start. Some people put like $1,000 down and they still have to pay $9,000. And that's a lot. That's a long way to go. You know, $5,000 you can pay off pretty quickly.
So just write up a budget. Whatever fits your budget, you do that. Don't go out. Don't go outside your means. It doesn't make sense.
Yep, that's what it is. Budgeting. Everybody needs to have a budget. If you're a couple and if you're a couple, you do not have to like budget together. But if you're planning on getting married, like if you're engaged, I think that's close to the wedding or whatever. You should start working that kind of stuff out, having those conversations about finances and stuff like that. Just because you don't want to get married, and like we've never been married before, but this is the advice that we've gotten from people to make sure our finances are situated individually, and also to discuss finances together as a couple, just so that we can be on one page, because a lot of couples separate because of financial things. Well, that's one of the biggest reasons, is financial things. And so yeah, it's good to have those conversations about, you know, budgeting and stuff like that, and getting the proper education if you need it, or you can teach your spouse, you know, whatever.
You guys can learn together.
Yeah, we're learning together. We're learning together. Like, there's a few things that I know that he doesn't know, and I've taught him, and there's some things that, you know, he knows that I don't know, that, you know, he's taught me. Yeah, and like, Nias, he's really a visual person. He likes to see things. He likes to hold it in his hand. He likes to feel it and stuff like that. So as far as what he said about writing it down on a paper or typing it up and printing it out and having it on a refrigerator or whatever, you know, those are things that I had to adapt to with him and stuff, because he's better at, if he sees it, then he's more aware of it, rather than, you know, him having it in his phone, or like using, like, I like the apps, like the apps you have through your bank and stuff like that to track your spending and stuff. So we kind of just compromise and do what's best for both of us as far as finances and like how much we want to save and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really hard to develop better spending and saving habits. But it's something that you definitely have to do, especially if you have goals and stuff like that. And we weren't always this way. Like, I would spend so much money. I went through this phase where I would just buy stuff from infomercials all the time. I had a problem. Like, I would order some crazy stuff. Like, I ordered this airbrushing system that I did not need. I ordered this, like, thing for your stomach that makes you get abs. It actually really worked. I don't know what it's called, but I ordered that. Like, just a bunch of stuff, just wasting money and throwing money away, buying clothes and just stupid stuff, throwing money away. And, you know, Ananias, he also wasn't really the best person with finances and spending his money or knowing where his money went, because, you know, he was really young, making a lot of money, and when you're making so much money at a young age, you just tend to spend it and just throw it away. You don't realize like what you can do with it. So yeah, that's about it. Do you have anything else to say, Brett?
No, not at all. I just want people to put their life into perspective.
The proper perspective.
Proper perspective.
Yeah, that's right. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, is to, you know, have a good understanding.
Wait, do you have a man? 'Cause I ain't into home wrecking. No. Alright, cool. Just checking. Look, from 100 yards you caught my eye, and on my board said I didn't have the heart to say hi. I like to have your number. You don't have to give it now, but if you diss me while they looking, I'ma never live it down. Yeah, I mean.